And we are back. Well, almost. Cora walked off. Fendon fell asleep. Ryan went to go get a cigarette and
candy.
I had to get candy. I had to get a glass of wine.
You got to be a lot faster than that.
That's like a 45-second intro. We're like, how far do you have to go to get?
Not far. I just waited until the last second.
Well, make sure it's like something caramel so you can't talk.
Yeah,
the best kind of candy to eat while you're playing D&D.
The journey so far has brought us from the western shores of the Odoran Wilds, eventually taking us through the Hellcatch Valley, up into Ank'Harel, down into the Ashnodor, over to the Panagrip Sands, and we find ourselves in an area known as the Emerald Woodland, near a city called the Beri Haresh. The party's journey began in the towering spires of Jrusar, where they established their base of operations at an artisan shop they named the Prancing Centaur. Through early investigations involving House Loomis and the Ivory Syndicate, they uncovered a massive continent-spanning conspiracy. They learned that the villain Mason, who was responsible for the destruction of the Feywild years ago, was Karina's father. The party rescued Karina Prime from imprisonment within the Chandei Quorum and discovered that an underground cabal of changelings and the militant Iron Collective were secretly replacing key political figures across Marquet, including Ank'Harel's ruler, Jamansa Ord. During a grand speech intended to unify Marquet, deadly automatons crafted by the artificer Crimp plummeted from the sky and decimated the Chandei Quorum council chambers. In the ensuing chaos, Lord Callion survived and placed Jrusar under strict martial law. The party infiltrated the tower and discovered Callion was actually a changeling operative named Levian. The party assassinated Levian, breaking the martial law, and extracted vital intelligence from his memories. The changelings, allied with a minotaur named Spike, planned to capture 15 hidden archfey and sacrifice them to forcibly overlay the Feywild onto the material plane. Fleeing the hand of Ord after being framed for the Bright Queen's assassination, the party traveled to the capital of Hellcatch Valley, King's Fall. They navigated the ancient mines known as the Underdwell along the miners Tam and Twist, where Eritrea battled the influence of Divini, an ancient celestial entity trying to use him as an avatar. After discovering a buried Githyanki astral ship, the party allied with the halfling Puck. As King's Fall descended into chaos, the party facilitated a daring escape aboard Rockhaven, a roaming city built on the back of a massive sauropod, and blew up an engineering platform to thwart the Iron Collective's pursuit. The party teleported to Ank'Harel only to find the crown jewel of Marquet completely abandoned. Descending into the flooded, sunken elven ruins of the Kyle Moreau, they discovered the horrifying truth. The entire population of the city, including the real Jamansa Ord and the Bright Queen, were suspended underwater, their life force being drained by a rudium-mutated aboleth. This creature, the tragic demigod Alexian the Apothian, was being used as a psychic battery by the changelings to break into the Netherdeep. The party braved the Netherdeep, battled Alexion, and ultimately redeemed his soul, permanently collapsing the Planier Rift and freeing the citizens of Ank'Harel. With that, the party was ambushed in the Suncut Bazaar by the Firekeepers, an ancient cult of explosive assassins hired by Spike, resulting in Melody's sudden death. Cord, the Stormlord, resurrected her, striking a bargain that the party must assassinate the Firekeepers' supreme leader. To cross the Oracle Badlands quickly, the party teleported to the pirate city of Beri Haresh, struck a deal with the Goliath captain known as Stonejaw, and chartered the Zephyr's Gambit airship, infiltrating the abandoned monolithic city of Sight. There, they disrupted the Firekeeper's dark ritual to awaken the Emberheart. Fendon utilized the magic to rescue the captive Giancarlo and Althea before the Emberheart shattered, disintegrating the Zealots and collapsing the petrified Fire Titan. After resting in the magnificent mansion, the party reviews the Firekeeper documents, uncovering a vast spy network designed to destabilize Marquet for the Iron Collective. During a dream watch meditation, Cora envisions a death tree, holding the deceased friends, and meets Xanath, the celestial sea elf. Xanath warns that the hag Scabatha is desperate and hunting them, advising the group to return to Ank'Harel to build their strength against the ancient trickster god Crimp. The party summons Zephyr's Gambit and returns to Beri Haresh. During the flight, Foran and Duger use Basric Bronze and Glimstone to successfully stabilize the ship's teleportation drive. Upon arriving, they inform Captain Stonejaw that the Firekeeper leader is dead. Madame Riptide privately reveals to Foran that she was once a cursed hexblood, but used the Emberheart to free herself from Scabatha's control. Later, the wizard Silas identifies the party's ancient spear and mace as the lost keys to the original city of Kyle Morone. Strongjaw throws a massive celebration honoring the party as Greater Ben Hassaris, while gifting them 50,000 gold and a city residence. Slipping away from the festivities, Foran and Cora silently trail Stonejaw, Riptide, and Silas. They eavesdrop in on a private meeting, discovering that Stonejaw and Riptide plan to rescue their brother, the Silent Sook, to reform their coven and the Witchlight in hopes of restoring the Feywild. Before returning to the party, Foran successfully plants magical tracking tokens on all three of them. The following morning, Melody and Fendon question Silas about the magical weave connecting Feywild and the Shadowfell. Their conversation is suddenly interrupted when the teleportation circle activates, depositing a half-orc, a blue tiefling, and their children. And within moments of them leaving the teleportation circle, a legendary gnome arrives at the last minute as Scanlan Shorthalt enters into the room after the teleportation circle recedes. And I believe that is exactly where we last left off. As all of you stand there looking at this gnome, he seems to eye all of you curiously, and then looks at Melody, looks at Eritrea, Fendon, Foran, Cora, and Jabatros. Oh, hi! Where are you guys going? You in a hurry?
Would I recognize him as Scanlan?
All of you recognize him as Scanlan, yeah. He's pretty well known throughout Marquet.
Even I.
Plus, you would recognize him because you went shopping at his shop as well. Well, no, you went shopping at not the Brave shop. So this is the other version of Sam Riegel.
Does it seem like he recognizes me?
I think he recognizes the fact. Give me an insight check on that, Eritrea, if you would, please.
All right, that was pretty good. That is a 28.
Ooh.
Holy shit, that's really good. You beat his 26 deception. You get the feeling that he is purposely ignoring you. He recognizes you and is trying not to make a scene.
Oh, you're
Do I
being
recognize him?
I would say you would recognize him from the nomadic tales that your people know of him.
But I've never met him.
Yeah, Fendon recognizes him because of Scanlan's notorious love for the Feywild. Melody, during her partying years, would definitely recognize him as the musician Scanlan. Obviously, Eritrea has his own reasons for recognizing Scanlan that might be a little bit more deeper into his background. Foran, I would say that you recognize him purely based off of legend alone. He does not seem to know any of your names, although he does kind of look over at Eritrea with a bit of trepidation, but purposely trying to hide his emotions, from what you can tell.
You look familiar.
Well, of course I do. I'm Scanlan. Scanlan Shorthold.
Aren't you
Pleasure
supposed
to
to
meet
be
all of you.
dead?
Oh, those kind of rumors have their place and their usefulness. You see, people don't hunt dead people. So, it's kind of how it works sometimes. And where are all you five going? You're going to miss a hell of a party.
Where's the party?
Well, my friends, Jester and Ford, are on the way to we have a little place here we call the Luscious Lemon. Over on the other side, you see, hanging out with pirates is far more interesting when you're older and retired, I assure you. Much more interesting.
Sounds interesting now.
Well, why don't you come along with me? You look like someone that enjoys a good drink. And you could even bring Pretty Boy there with you if you'd like. While I'm not exactly into the tall Goliath types, I'm always willing to strap on some climbing gear for a good time. But anyways, why don't you come along? It's going to be quite the rager.
Don't you recognize him? I'm pointing at Eritrea because I don't think Melody would know he's trying to hide it.
Oh, no, never seen him before in my life. Well, gotta go. And he
What?
starts walking down the stairs. Come along if you'd like.
Hold it right there. Now look.
Check.
He keeps going, still walking, heading
I'm
down the
inside.
tower stairs.
I'm trotting
I
after
want to
him.
follow him. Yeah, I want to follow him.
Oh, damn it.
Follow along.
You guys follow Scanlan down to the base of the tower, and that's when you see a collection of little carts and wagons kind of waiting there. They are filled with an atrocious amount of luggage. And you watch at the last minute as a gate closes, the arcane spell gate closes in the street. There's onlookers and gawkers as it happens, and you see other individuals standing there. One particular group standing there, you see a rather pissed off gnome staring at Scanlan with rather hateful look in her face. A very tall Goliath, heavily scarred, wearing some pretty gnarly looking gauntlets on his hands. You see two elves. They almost look like sister and brother. And you also see a very kind of pissed off bear. You can see a half-elf druid as well as a very young-looking human, impossibly young-looking human, along with a very elderly-looking human. They almost look like it could be father and son, wearing kind of royal livery, showing signs of their kind of connection with Whitestone. It's at that moment you watch as yet another gateway opens up in the street. You watch as an Azamir barbarian comes stepping out, eventually a human monk, a tiefling or a furbog cleric, as well as obviously already seeing Ford there and Jester standing and waiting as well. You see him a little bit older, we'll call him elderly, but he's seen some new years, a human wizard, along with a halfling rogue who seems to be standing amongst the group. They all seem to be chatting with each other kind of nonchalantly. And then, of course, down the street, you can see another group of individuals kind of like patiently waiting, waving at the rest of the two groups that are standing there as well. You see a fawn druid. You can see a rather creepy looking warlock sorcerer, a earth genasi barbarian, a gnome blood hunter, looks like he's 1,000 years old, barely able to stand on his feet, breathing heavily and yelling at people to get off his lawn. You could also see a human sorceress who looks rather distracted, and a halfling fighter who seems to be eagerly having a conversation with not the rogue, not the brave. I guess technically still not the brave. These are people that seem very familiar with each other. They seem to know each other quite well. They eagerly embrace. You can see that the three separate groups are clearly here for a celebration of sorts, perhaps. They begin to load up in carts and wagons, some of them already beginning to trot down the desert street to go wherever they're going. It's Scanlan who smiles at the six of you, points to the wagon and jumps into the wagon and immediately beckons all of you to join him.
I'm going to hop in the wagon with him.
Yeah, I'll hop up.
Where were we headed before this?
Ankara.
We were headed to...
Back to Ankara.
I mean, I guess that can wait a night, right? Right? Yeah. Let's go party.
Follow?
Forn's gonna like slip off to the side and follow, but not in the wagon, but just kind of suspicious of everything going on now.
He kind of makes a notion over the wagon and looks. Yeah, reminds me of a friend of mine named Vax. Anyways, Vax never really trusted anyone as well. So, I believe there was a pointed question asked of me before I fill all of you in on what that answer might be. Yes, Eritrea, I do know you, but your story will have to wait, as I need to get to know all of you. While I'm familiar with who Eritrea is, you guys are all still alive. Your stories have gotten to some of us, not all of us. Grog seems to think you are make-believe, but Grog thinks everything's make-believe. But so, tell me your story. Who are you, and what have you been up to? And I will tell you my story about what I know about Eritrea.
Gonna whip out my little changeling thing in front of his face and just wave it and make sure he's real.
He just kind of follows it and takes the spiff out of his mouth and blows a little ring of smoke, and he goes, "Ooh, what is that? Is that a good luck charm? Do I pass?"
This.
Oh, very well. So, who are you? And what have you been doing?
I'm looking around. My name's Cora.
Cora. I think you're relatively new to the group, aren't you?
Yes.
And the colorful furbog here. What is your name?
Oh, I'm Fendon.
Fendon. Pleasure to meet you. I think the
Likewise.
rainbow-colored fawn. I've heard of you. Your melody, your parties are quite legendary.
It's true.
And of course, the famous bird, Jalbatros. We've heard of him as well. Your friend stalking and skulking about there. I think he goes by the name of Ford. Am I correct?
How do you know all this stuff?
Oh, well, things get to us of importance. And needless to say, when you find yourself constantly worrying about the world, you keep one ear to the ground and ponder what exactly is going on, as they say. So, are you heroes yet? How many times have you saved the world? 5, 6, 10, 20 times?
World saving? Maybe
A couple?
twice?
Only twice. Let's see. Scanlan starts counting off at least 82 times he's saved the world. He then counts off 152 times that he saved his friends. He goes on about being at the head of grand armies and leading airships into battles and visiting the Feywild before it was destroyed, which causes him to kind of nervously glance at Fendon for a moment and then nervously glance at Eritrea. Meanwhile, this procession of carts carrying luggage and crates and all the things of these three large groups of people entering ever deeper into the Berry Haresh. Scanlan leans back to stare at Eritrea for a long time, and his playful, kind of casual look begins to fade from his face. I guess me and Pike do owe you a rather large explanation, don't we, Eritrea? Did you ever get the letter from her explaining to you that I was dead?
Something along those lines. I thought I heard you were a centaur in disguise.
Well, I take on certain roles. I do like to cosplay from time to time. Just kind of depends on my mood, who I'm visiting with, and, well, I don't...
How do you cosplay as a centaur?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's just a word I like to use. It sounds cool. Pike says I use a lot of words simply because they sound cool.
Yeah.
So, Eritrea, me and Pike found you many years ago. She was convinced that giving you to the orphanage at the Serenray, Temple of the Serenray in Vasselheim, would have been better for you than simply raising you ourselves. It's how we found you that we never quite felt prepared to tell you. Your mother was a singularly infamous individual. Quite a powerful, well, some would call her a priestess. Some would call her paladin of power. Some would call her someone who took her job very seriously for the sole purpose of keeping so many safe from a rather particularly nasty outcome. Anyways, your father, well, there's no real way of getting around it. Your father was Alexion. The problem was, Alexion took on many different forms, and in the form that he met your mother was in his djinn form, when he was traveling the wastes, trying to find someone that he could attract to the city and undo the Netherdeep and free him from his curse. Needless to say, this happened around the same time after certain things had begun to happen. Whether or not Alexion truly understood what he was doing, your mother didn't seem to mind. They, for all intents and purposes, seemed to be quite in love. Whatever that cause, or whatever the reasons for what they did, it was Pike who accepted you from the djinn after your mother left to go to war, deal with a rather nasty creature that was causing a lot of trouble and disturbances with undead creatures. Anyways, we had always said that we would hold on to you until she returned. She never really returned, and when we attempted to track down Alexion yet again, we were unable to approach the Netherdeep, and we were unable to have a conversation with Alexion again. Me and Pike entrusted you with the orphanage, and we always felt that you would find your own way. At some point during your travels, Pike agreed that a letter should be written, and this letter would be delivered to you for the sole purpose of giving you your independence and understanding. Unfortunately, me and Pike had yet our 5th, 6th, 7th, not sure, 7th falling out for all I know, and we just kind of went our separate ways for a while. I had completely forgotten about the letter until she sent me a message recently. She had received information from the Bright Queen that you and yours have been traveling from Ankarel to the Berry Harish. And since all of us keep a little gathering place here, I felt there was a good opportunity to come find you, see if maybe there's something I can help with. I understand that Marquet has kind of fallen into a rather particular situation. Some rather interesting individuals, and maybe even a god or two might be involved in this mess. So I figured load up on as much spice as I could carry, send out word to everybody that it's time for a reunion and drinking and shenanigans, and that's why we're here. But I wonder, why are you here? Surely the world can take care of itself. The gods are gone. The only god I know of that's remained in his domain is Asmodeus. All the others have either fled Exandria or walk upon the material plane in their mortal forms. It would seem that divinity is on its way out. Arcane magic is on its way in, along with the natural order, the natural world of things.
Not all the gods are gone.
What do you mean not all the gods are gone? They're supposed to be gone.
There's at least one who's remained in their post.
I am not familiar with any gods remaining. What god do you speak of?
I wonder if it would be better not to say, given the current situation.
Are you afraid that if you speak their name, something quite contrite might happen? A ne'er-do-well statement and everything will simply fall apart around us?
Because we just saw Imogen, right? Would I know that that was Imogen?
I think you guys would be familiar with their legend. But
Okay.
like all legends, they're surrounded by more myth and superstition than anything else. These are the three groups that fought and prevented the destruction of Exandria by
Mhm.
containing Predathos.
Mm-hmm.
That's legend that most people seem to agree with. This was over 10 years ago, however.
Mhm.
You guys are 10 years into the Age of Restoration at this point. Around that same time, 10 years ago, the Feywild and Shadowfell were consumed by magic as the battle of the apogee took place up on the moons. The battle for the heart of the Feywild and the material plane was going on by another kind of mysterious group of people as well. With the conclusion of those two battles and with the absence of divinity, most believe that the Age of Restoration has begun. And that's been ongoing now for about 10 years. So these legends and myths have become commonplace, but all the stories tend to be just that, stories. They're stories how people tell them, how some believe them and how some don't believe them. But there are three very legendary groups of individuals now gathering in this pirate community for the purposes of a celebration for some reason.
I'll just say that, I have died recently, and that whole situation was not unattended. And we know of other gods as well who don't walk the material plane.
Oh. Death, yes. We've all been there once or twice. Isn't it fun?
It wasn't my favorite.
Usually never is.
I did get a lot of attention when I was brought back to life, and that was kind of fun.
Yes, that is the fun part.
Yeah.
Because everyone's they cry a lot, they get mopey, they get a little, yeah, I've been there a couple times.
It was more me and Florence screaming at each other. I think.
Oh, yes, that happens a lot too. A lot of blame, a lot of yelling, a lot of concern. It's the normal stuff.
So what's the deal with this party?
Oh, we have agreed, ever since the Battle of the Solstice and our involvement with each other, that once a year we'd always come to a place of familiarity and, make sure everybody's doing okay. And that's what this party is. It's our annual reunion, revival, sense of accomplishment. Some of us age more than others. I guess one could say this is, for some of us, a reminder of who we are and what we do and why we do it. Although most of the time I'm incredibly high, drunk, and one of many different species, depending on my mood. I do like to travel a lot. It is fun. And of course, having powerful magic helps. Pays the bills. My daughter is, well, needless to say, she's hot and cold on me from time to time. Depends on her mood with me as well. Right now, we get along. That's all I care about. She is already here.
What's it look like outside right now with all these groups arriving?
You can see that there are people staring and pointing. You can see a sense that people understand who these people are and why they're here. There's this like kind of intense sense of recognition. Some people come running out of the crowd to shake hands and reach out for them, and some just kind of stare at disbelief. Some don't even know who they are. They're so young, they have no idea who these people are and just kind of wander off into crowds, not really understanding what's going on. But the cavalcade of wagons and everything are drifting deeper and further away from the center of the city and heading off more towards the cliffs and bluffs that overlook the bay down below. Here you begin to watch as the wagon train then comes into what feels like a kind of more secluded area of the city. And before long, it is kind of like coming up a road and this great bluff that overlooks the height of the bay down below and this rather impressive estate. The gates of the estate kind of swing open as the entourage begins to slowly arrive and make their way into the interior workings of this place. You can see what looks to be maybe house guards in different areas. You can see that the place is well kept, well manicured, pretty ostentatious. It's a nice estate. You could see it has both exterior and interior kind of expectations of itself. You can see a great sun patio on the very top of the estate that overlooks everything around it. You can see that all these individuals now begin to kind of stretch and get off the wagons and carts, grabbing bags and other pieces of luggage that they've carried with them. And slowly they kind of mingle with each other and then start to randomly disappear into the interior of the estate.
I'm going to look for any sign of Stonejaw or Riptide or Silas. Because when we showed up, we had people right there like, what are you doing here? This is my place.
Nope. So far, you don't even need to make a check on that. You see no sign of them anywhere around. Scanlan's wagon is the last one to enter into the estate grounds.
I'll message to the group. I think I've got the spell. I've got the cantrip. Yeah, cantrip message.
Yay, cantrips.
Yeah. I'm gonna where's Stonejaw and Riptide and all of them? Why isn't anybody else here?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like outside the main city. Maybe they're busy with other stuff.
They were at the teleportation circle when we showed up. Silas was there when the other two showed up.
Yeah, but we had to ask permission to use it. They seemed like they already had permission.
Well, they also didn't use the teleportation circle.
Ford and Jester did.
Ford, Jester, and Scanlan did use the teleportation circle. The others all used gateway spells down in the main street.
And Ford and Jester used it while Silas was still there.
Mm-hmm. Because he escorted them away.
Y'all don't find
What's that?
Y'all don't find this strange at all?
It's kind of weird, but like it's Scanlan Shorthall, right? Like he's a weird guy. He's a celebrity.
I wonder if there's more purpose to this meeting than he's letting up. That it's not just some sort of party, which I'm sure he's going to get his fair share of inebriated, but having this many people in this profession gathering in one place would seem to draw a bit of attention for just being a party.
Oh man.
We're gonna have to work.
Why are you really here?
Not just party.
Scanlan opens the gate to help Melody down, and then helps Eritrea and everyone else kind of down out of the cart. Scanlan arches an eyebrow at Eritrea. Well, now that you're joining us, I told them all why we're here. We're here for our reunion, our annual reunion.
And it's just supposed to be some coincidence that we eliminate the head of some crazy nihilistic ritual cult, and now y'all show up. I'm just supposed
I
to
was
believe that
not aware that was something that you had accomplished. I was simply told by the Bright Queen that you guys were here in the Berry Haresh, and I have some connection with Eritrea, more to, well, finish some complications there. But what cult did you destroy?
For that
The
fire head exploding people.
Firekeepers.
Oh, that's what they call themselves. I had heard about these individuals that try to assassinate people, and when they die, they explode into flames. I was not aware that's what they called themselves. Well, you must tell us all the stories about it. And he immediately takes Melody's arm and Eritrea's arm and guides the two of them into the entrance of the estate.
I'm gonna message Melody. He's really not a changeling, right?
It doesn't seem like it. Nothing was showing up when I tested him. I think it's
Never
really
mind.
him.
I don't have that one. Never mind. I don't have that one.
Oh, you don't have a message? Well, I would have messaged you guys at some point, and you saw me do the scan.
I saw you do the scan, but nope, I don't have a message. Wrong character.
I'm gonna walk around and just look for anybody doing anything that doesn't look right. Look for stuff that doesn't seem appropriate.
Okay, give me a perception check as you do that.
I'm gonna try and get Melody's attention and like mime like looking through the thing at everybody. Just kidding.
I'll have it out and I'll be scanning people. I think Melody does that all the time.
It was a dirty 20 on the perception check.
Nice.
Someone joining?
Is it Eric?
Okay.
Yay!
No way!
Yay!
Question is, can he hear us?
Professor?
Right.
I can hear you. I had my my laptop volume muted.
Oh,
I didn't know
gotcha.
that. So that's yeah.
Well,
I got
welcome.
Made
back.
it.
I don't have to do the voice anymore. Yay!
I don't know. I was enjoying it. It was kind of fun.
It was a dirty
Been
20 on the
listening, Eric?
perception check.
Okay. Before long, all of you wind your way into the interior of the state while Foreign is still kind of meandering around trying to find something that should prove that this is nutso and out of place and clearly a trap that's going to get you all killed. As you guys wander into the interior, the interior is all the different groups of people kind of milling about a rather large common room. In the background of this common room, there is a small band, familiar band, playing on the stage. This house is deceptively larger inside than outside. You're not sure if that's on purpose or magical, but it's the constant chatter of the conversation. There's other people that were already here that you don't recognize. There's people serving food. You can see a very large Goliath that you know to go by the name of Grog is currently draining an entire keg all by himself.
I might be fangirling.
But you are seeing these groups of people, and they're obviously here to celebrate. They're obviously here to get caught up with each other. There's a sense of great relief, as if they're all surprised to kind of see each other. The twins, Vax and Vex, the brother seems to garner quite a bit of attention when he moves about the crowd, almost as if some are seeing him for the first time in a long time. Some are retelling the story of how he was brought back. And you can overhear their kind of adventures and their misadventures. A mention of wondering if Darrington's going to show up or not this year. Mention of friends that have now unfortunately gone. Stories about fighting the dragon. Stories about fighting Vecna in Vasselheim. Stories about journeying to the great city of Aeor to find a rather mythical kind of device that seems to, even now, they talk mysteriously about what they truly found. The journey to the moons, the journey, the final defeat of an elvish individual that goes by the name of Ludinus Deleth. This feeling of a retelling of stories of lifetime journeys, and a general feeling of absence. You hear a name mentioned, a name like that kind of floats through the crowd. You hear names of people that aren't here, almost as if there's surprise or concern that these people haven't arrived yet. A particular group of individuals, one, you hear the name of Puck, you hear the name of Earthen, you hear the name of Tabaxi, and this other mysterious group that seem to be involved specifically in the near destruction of both the material plane and yet the subsequent conclusion of the Feywild and the Shadowfell, a transition of time, a shift in planes of existence that have kind of helped shape the world as to what it is now. The idea of divinity gone, arcane in nature, kind of presupposing their kind of control over the world. It's these kind of stories of travel, stories of meeting people, stories of battle, stories of worship, stories of sacrifice are kind of playing out all around you. Scanlan is taking his time to kind of like introduce you to everybody. At one point, he introduces you to Pike. Pike Trickfoot, which for Eritrea, Pike kind of gives Scanlan a look, and then Scanlan just kind of looks like, it's all right, I explained everything to him. It's not to worry. He is neither bitter nor particularly estranged from us, as you thought he would be, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't worry about it, Pike. Oh, and over here is Keyleth of the Arashari. He's the only one kind of getting old. That man over there is Percival, Percy is what we like to call him. Percival Fredrickson von Musel Klowaski de Rolo III, as he likes to go by. That big fellow over there drinking the beer, that's Grog. Of course, over there is Vex and Vax, the bear that wanders the grounds. That is Trinket the Third, or I don't know. Pets come and go so frequently. Now over there, the big Azamar hanging out with the monk. That is Yasha Nidoran, and of course Borgarbo Lionette. Over there, that is Caduceus Clay, the gentle-looking furbog. Of course, Ford and his wife Jester, and their little kids running around. The mopey wizard over there goes by the name of Caleb Widowgast, of course. Now, over there is Fern. Kind of looks at Melody, looks at Fern, looks at Melody. Uncanny. Now that creepy girl walking around with Imogen, that's Laudna. Technically she's undead, but we don't know the full nature of her. Well, anyways, the Earth Genasi over there, that's Ashton, the creepy very old gnome. He turns into a werewolf, by the way. That's Chetney Pakapi. Over there, that Minotaur, that handsome, devilish-looking Minotaur right over there, that is Breus Doomseed. Quite a handsome and wonderful individual. You'd really like him. Of course, there's Imogen Tumult. The halfling over there, that's Orm of the Arashari as well. And that is us. There's some others here, and we expect other arrivals over the next 24 hours or so. And I must say, I think this is a most excellent coincidence. Here all of you are, except your strange ranger friend. And then, of course, here all we are in this wonderful pirate city of the Berry Haresh. You guys are welcome to the food. You're welcome to the drink. You're welcome to the layout of the place. Whatever you like, relax, take your mind off, be at ease, because tonight is about celebrating family, celebrating friends, and taking that great deep breath before things get a little bit, well, out of our control, don't you think?
I would immediately start grilling Pike and Scanlan about what Eritrea was like as a baby. Did he have tiny wings?
I don't think it works like that. I think those develop like when they mature in the manhood, of course.
Okay.
And Azamir are quite mysterious creatures. Though we accepted responsibility from his mother because she had to go off the battle, we didn't necessarily understand what we were quite getting ourselves into. But he was a good boy. Very good boy. And I have here, Eritrea, that you've
They're
got...
about to get out of control.
Well, the Bright Queen and Jamanta Ord has brought us up to date. Well, some of us. Some of us around here don't care and are going to go back to their lives one way or the other. But, well, you guys have made some interesting journeys so far. And it sounds like your journey continues.
It does, but it seems like you seem to know something else that's about to happen.
Well, not precisely. You see, we're all about to make a decision. It's always good to have witnesses about in case that decision affects not only ourselves, but others as well. Pike punches him in the shoulder. Don't be giving it all away yet. We haven't made our choices yet.
What's the decision?
I'm not.
What are we deciding?
Oh, well, you guys don't have to decide anything. You're more than welcome to join us in any way that you choose to. But Pike just narrows her eyes at Scanlan and walks away to go get a drink. You see, we are all leaving tomorrow.
Leaving to where?
Well, we're leaving Exandria.
Where are
What?
you going?
We don't quite know yet. Supposedly, Percival has made all the proper calculations. There are other worlds and other places to see. And we all have decided that since the gods have left Exandria to its fate, then we shall do the same in kind.
You've all decided this already?
Kind of. Sort of. Well, I think we're mostly here to maybe decide and actually take action this time in its regards.
Where would you go?
I don't think that part matters much. It's just a matter of just going and getting there, starting new lives, new adventures. We've become quite bored with this place, to be honest with you. We think Exandria needs to find its own fate without our interference.
Sort of a delicate period to leave, don't you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of heroes like yourselves out there doing what needs to be done to protect both Exandria and the many different kingdoms and people involved. You have the Bright Queen, of course, maybe, sort of. Of course, you have Jamansa Ord. They can live for another 1,000 years. Well, the Bright Queen has shown some interest in leaving as well, but it's for a separate conversation. My understanding, she's out in the middle of the desert somewhere looking for someone that goes by the name the Sandman. A little too close to my moniker, but I'll let it ride.
Is Forn around, or is he somewhere else?
No, he's out and about.
I'm walking around outside looking for weird stuff.
Stalking everyone.
I don't trust this.
Well, how is Eritrea reacting to the suggestion that they're gonna pick up and leave?
I am just so confused right now.
That tracks.
I have this feeling that they're here to pass some sort of mantle onto us. If they plan on leaving, they want us to say they know everything we've done, apparently. This feels like some transitional ceremony.
It sounds like there's a vote about whether to leave or not.
It doesn't sound like we're involved in the vote. No?
We're here. We're not voting, but we're here.
You were just a witness.
And it's one of those things.
Witnesses.
Eritrea feels like, even though he had those memories of Scanlan and Pike, you know, a lot of this world is still a bit of a mystery to him. So a lot of these people are meeting. He doesn't really understand what they've done, who they are, and he feels like we're being just escorted into some new role, like we have new expectations about what we're supposed to do. And they're kind of saying like, hey, it's all up to you to figure this out now. So I'm a little weary.
Mantle.
A little weary right now. And I kind of just want to see how this all plays out. When's the vote, Scanlan?
Oh, I don't know. Sometime this evening, I think.
When
We're
you're all
supposed-
drunk?
Well, of course, it's the best time to make some of the most important decisions of your life. High on spice and drinking way too much alcohol. It's gotten me this far.
That seems inadvisable, but okay.
Yes, we had gotten the same responses from our mentors at the time as well. I mean, all of you seem to be tight with each other. You understand what it means to have to put your lives on the line for what you believe in. Do you still believe all of that? Are you willing to do that hard work?
have been.
You have been doing the hard work. Then doing the rest should be surprisingly easy then for you. Don't you think?
I feel like we need some help.
Some help? From who? Bunch of old burnt out adventurers like ourselves? We're not quite what we used to be.
Help could come in the form of advice.
Oh, advice. We are definitely full of shit, as Pike likes to say.
So full of shit. I struggle to swear because I don't like to swear. That you've apparently succeeded a lot. And
Did we succeed a lot?
You're not dead and the world's still here?
Is that success, or is that simply us getting lucky and the world was lucky because we got lucky? We've all made the same determinations of our own fate from time to time. I've died at least once, maybe even twice. Vex's sister died, I believe, as well. We almost all died in Vasselheim, taking on Vecna. There's always been. Keyleth comes stumbling by, drunk. We're basically gods, and she walks off into the crowd.
so it
She's
seems
run
like
out of time.
gods haven't abandoned Exandria.
Well, if she does the goldfish trick again, it's definitely worth watching. It's quite funny.
The goldfish trick?
Yes, a long time ago, she was kind of in a mood. She was happy and celebrating her ascension to her Ashari trials. So she leapt off a very tall bluff and turned herself into a goldfish. Unfortunately, even a goldfish falling 600 feet to the ocean is probably not going to survive. Well, she'll be brought back after that. And ever since then, she's been Keyleth.
Does that mean brain damage or not?
I think it's all perspective.
Okay.
Is Scanlan, is he already drinking and sniffing some spice at this point?
I mean, you get the feeling that he's smoking the spice. It's in his spliff that he carries in his mouth. And he's never without an empty tankard. In fact, you'll watch as he suddenly drinks, and then the tankard's still full.
Does he seem more inebriated than when we first got in contact with him?
You could tell he's getting more and more buzzed. More and more kind of relaxed, more and more kind of every now and then slurs a couple words or two in the midst of his conversation with you.
I want to press him a little bit. Scanlan, just be upfront with us. What are we specifically doing here?
Well, considering what all of you have accomplished so far, I thought maybe you're right. I thought maybe you could benefit from advice. So perhaps with us all being here for the final time, you might want to wander the crowd, ask questions, take a feel for what it really takes to obviously do the hard work that you're doing.
God, it's like mingling at a business event.
It's networking.
My least favorite thing to do.
Well, except all of us here are killers and healers. I mean, a lot more in common.
I want to send a message to Thorn to get back in here.
Horn, we need you. They're trying to brainwash us.
I rolled a 19 for that spell to go off.
Oh, you're doing sending? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Goes off. You have
Thorn,
25 words.
I think you need to come back in here. I feel like they're trying to, promote us or I don't think it's that nefarious, but yeah.
Nefariously promoting us? Not that I can say.
There's got to be some other reason. I ain't found anything out here, so I might as well come inside. Fine. He like stalks in through the door.
Unhappy.
Ford is always unhappy.
Unless he's drinking, but he's not in the mood to drink at the moment.
He's just overly suspicious.
Yeah.
That's what happens when
watch.
you suss shit around.
You watch his scan and looks. Oh, your blue friend is back. Well, good. If you don't mind, I need to go find somebody. Well, enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye. And he just kind of wanders off into the crowd.
Look, this ain't right?
This it turns out is a big party about how they're trying to dump a bunch of responsibility on us. Why does everyone keep going to us to save the world?
So I was right to be suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like they're trapping us in a bad way, but they're like essentially handing us the mantle to be the heroes, and they said they're all leaving Exandria.
Hey, we're all like godly powerful folks that could solve all these problems, in the snap of a finger. But we think, we'll do something with somewhere else. So peace out.
Basically,
now.
So if they leave us
Huh?
and they go to a different existence
What
or
just
a different plane of existence, then they become gods over there, right? Because they're so powerful, right? Right? Is that how that works? So we become powerful, then we go to a different plane of existence, and then we become gods? Is that the end goal?
I have no idea.
Because it's
All
not
I
like they're doing.
That was crazy. StreamYard was like, thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
Like it went to the whole exit page. I'm like, I don't know what
Weird.
that was. Yeah. Sorry. I can still hear the music in the background too. That was even weirder.
Said, you did not pay your existence bill.
Right? So there's
So
no peace out, and now we're responsible for everything.
Only
Yeah.
if we step up. I mean, I don't think we have to take the mantle.
Like when did I apply for this job? We had a shop in Marquet and it was doing really well. We had a speakeasy and I was really enjoying that.
Now we lost another one.
Benden's been having connection issues.
Yeah.
I'm sure his Wi-Fi isn't great in the hotel he's in.
Probably not.
Well, I imagine the Wi-Fi is just not great in North Dakota. I mean,
they only need Wi-Fi for like the 8 people that live there.
somebody else is watching the World Cup right now, so it's like really draining the
They've stolen all the Wi-Fi.
state's Wi-Fi. Yeah. I don't know, Professor.
Well, should we mingle and talk to people?
Yes, Fawn. What can I do for you?
Look, you're the one that already made some kind of crazy deal with a god, so this sounds like a crazy deal, right?
I would strongly advise just not in normal circumstances. Although, to remember, mine was not necessarily coerced. That is not the right term, but it was definitely not made under the most advisable conditions. I would very much ponder this as long as possible, weigh the pros and cons. I will say I think I am the only one here who did sign up to at least try to save this world. I'm a bit honor bound to do it. That doesn't mean any of you do.
There's a little bit of truth in that.
Man, look, I'm out here for the Feywild and trying to help all that and try to get all that back, but whatever. I guess we'll wait till everybody else gets here. They said there's more coming, right?
I think this is most of the squad. Scanlon said he was going to look for someone.
Couple people missing, maybe? One person?
You think we should talk to that Imogen? Since, we told her that certain somebody is coming to kill her.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I suppose.
Let's go find Imogen.
Not too difficult to
Mango
find.
across the crowd.
Yeah, she is practically hand in arm with the rather undead-looking individual.
Ladna.
Yep, Ladna. You guys kind of make your way over there. There's a smile of familiarity on her face. She just kind of looks over as all of you approach. Well, I am genuinely surprised. Scanlon is not usually right, but it would seem that this particular reunion is just getting more and more interesting. I believe one of you warned me about somebody trying to kill me, perhaps?
Yep, he still might be trying to kill you.
Well, I mean, there's always somebody trying to kill me. I mean, this thing inside me is always trying to kill me on a daily basis. I keep it contained and under control. That's my job, as they say.
So you're saying you got a god on the inside trying to kill you and a god on the outside trying to kill you?
Well, I like to think of those on the outside as forces that are trying to determine their own fate without my permission. The one inside me, well, we have an agreement. I'm not too worried about him.
Well, I'm serious about it. It ain't somebody trying to determine your fate. It's a god trying to kill you.
We have made inquiries. He's definitely an interesting individual, to say the least. I don't know if he's as threatening as he thinks he is.
Well, he's nearly killed me a couple of times.
Oh, that's not very hard to do. You look proper squishy. It's okay. That's just kind of the roles we take sometimes. I was properly squishy before I became the vessel to Predathos. Ladna just kind of rolls her eyes and immediately walks off to go talk to somebody. So why are all you here? For some reason, Scanlon was convinced that all of you were going to be here.
We were about to leave.
Oh, where were you going to go?
Ankarel. What's it matter?
Ankarel, one of my favorite cities. Have you popped in and into Stefan's Glorious Goods yet? Gilmore's nephew?
No. We had our own shop, and we had a shop there that was formerly owned by Mason. I kind of paused to gauge her reaction to that statement.
I'm familiar with that name, but I think that name belongs to someone who was destroyed about 10 years ago.
Well, that shop was destroyed about 10 years ago.
Fancy that. Well, what exactly did Scanlon tell you about tonight?
No choice.
He didn't tell me shit. I was outside.
Oh, of course. I understand.
Told us that you're taking a vote.
Taking a vote? A vote about what?
He said there was a big decision to make tonight.
That again. She immediately stands up. She gets on top of a table. Scanlon? Where the fuck are you, Scanlon? You see Scanlon kind of stooped over, filling up like a bowl full of food, and he kind of raises his head, looks around, and goes, "Hi, Imogen. What are you telling these nice people? The normal stuff that we do when we're here." She just kind of lowers her eyes, and the crowd kind of laughs a bit. And yes, there was a time that we had considered leaving, but we found ourselves always getting pulled back into the story of this world. Found it rather difficult to leave. It was right after our battle with Ludinus Deleth. Some of us came very close to death. Some of us have died before. Most agree my sacrifice to be the vessel of Predathos might have been taking things a bit too far. But knowing that I cannot leave Exandria, I have a very important duty to do. The others did mill it around a bit, and unfortunately, when the truth was learned about the Feywild and the Shadowfell, well, potential places to go got a little bit more diminished. And while we would all love to figure out a way to bring back the Feywild and the Shadowfell, no particular presentation has been made in those regards. So yes, we pondered it at one point, but we have moved on from that conversation. Scanlan, however, we do believe at any given moment will leave Exandria. Whether or not he comes back, don't know. But he is a bit of a traveler, a bit of a wanderer. Him you can hold fairly accountable for his own decisions. Did you not think that we were all going to just simply abandon Exandria to its fate?
Why would he lie?
Well, he's not lying. He's just being Scanlan. It's just... Scanlan is, well, you hear a German, like a Zimian dialect kind of kick in. You see this kind of tall... brown trench coat with a slight robe off to the back, a ginger cat like curled up on his shoulder, long beard, long red hair. You can see the emblem of the Cerebus Assembly kind of hanging around his neck. I must say that this is very familiar to a conversation I had with some individuals many years ago when they were making their way out to do battle with the forces prior to us heading off to defeat Ludinus in his particular situation. I am Caleb Widogast. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I have had my conversation with Jamansa Ord. They are very fond of all of you and said that all of you have done great things to not only save Ankarel, but maybe have an opportunity to save Jrusar. And my understanding is that you've saved many Fey lives as well from this Iron Collective, I believe, is what it is being called.
That's right. Why hadn't you guys been tracking anything down?
They were not on our... We do live separate and normal lives. Beauregard and Yasha live in Amman. I myself am in sometimes in Nicodranus. Other times I am counseling the new queen on how best to lead Dwindle into the future, of course. Ford and Jester have family across many of the different pirate isles and other places. Life is not us standing around waiting for the next catastrophe to fall upon the heads of those that think they could have the ability to stop such things.
So your friends, the Bright Queen and Jamansa Ord, get replaced with changelings, and you just don't recognize anything weird, nothing crazy happening. Life goes on as usual. That's what you're saying?
Well, this is the first time I've spoken with the Bright Queen or Jamansa Ord in over a year. We only come out here to the Berriesh maybe once a year to meet and see how everyone is doing, of course. My scope is the remaking of the Cerebus Assembly and helping provide advice on to how the Queen Dwindle, can bring the kingdom into the future. We don't sit around wondering what evildoer or what power is trying to take over the world. That's not what we really do. We live our lives, of course. I would assume all of you have lives to live, do you not?
Sure, though we've kind of been pulled away from them for a while.
Someone has physically grabbed onto you and pulled you in to things that you did not want to do?
We just keep getting dragged into more and more stuff. People keep being like, hey, you guys seem like you get a lot done. Can you do this for us? And then we do it, and then someone else asks us to do something.
But they ask you, of course.
Well, yeah, and sometimes then we do get run out of cities.
Sometimes we blow up chunks of cities.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yes.
routinely, we blow up chunks of cities.
Well, not routinely.
Jrusar.
It's not scheduled.
Occasionally, some parts of cities erupt in flames or explosions around us. Around us.
Are we sure it's not scheduled?
It feels awfully scheduled to me. We stay there
Maybe
long
we
enough.
should
Something's
leave
gonna
Barry
blow up.
Harash.
Well, but you are all still alive. You are all doing well. You are all still have. I mean, I don't understand what the concern is. Are we all meant to solve these problems forever? I've got so much on my table. I would not have time, nor really understand what to begin to start, what to do.
How would you
Neither-
identify changelings that may have infiltrated the Dwindelian Empire?
Oh, we have methods that we can put into place now that we know that this is a threat. We did not know this was a threat until a few weeks ago.
This group, the Firekeepers, they got spies all over, not just Marquet. They're all over Exandria at all levels.
I understand. And you, of course, have proof of all this. You have evidence that can be used to take care of these particular problems.
My glass blade friend has the notes. She's delivering them to the Bright Queen.
Then the Bright Queen shall make the call. If her kingdom is infiltrated, she will determine its usefulness and then let all of us know what we must do to protect ourselves, of course.
As long as they haven't gotten the right.
You all seem so burdened with what you must. Well, I mean, you seem burdened with. I don't know if it's glorious. It could get you killed if you think that is glorious. But they ponder. Why have you all taken up this idea that you need to save the world?
Nobody else is.
Are you sure no one else is?
You know what? You're right. Why don't we just let the Iron Collective do their thing and merge the Feywild back with the material plane and all that, and everything will be hunky-dory. How about that?
Well, I believe you've already stopped that from happening, have you not?
The Iron Collective's still out there.
The militant arm of whatever this crimp individual is doing is now isolated and without their leadership. How much threat could they possibly be? You did destroy the Firekeepers, did you not?
You ever fought a Hydra?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. You cut off the head, and what happens?
It doesn't matter. You go for the body, you go for the heart. You choke the heart out, you stab the heart, destroy it, and the head cannot come back.
Uh-huh. And you think killing the Firekeepers was stabbing the heart or the head?
Good point. Possibly the head with a little bit of heart in there as well.
What a pragmatic statement.
It is. I'm a wizard. We're very pragmatic people.
Well, that wizard round here is a scared little bitch.
Ooh, Silas?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Little
He
lapdog,
has-
that Goliath.
Strongjaw has his usefulness.
What do you know about the Coven?
Coven. Which coven do you speak of? There are so many.
Strongjaw and his Coven.
I'm messaging Foreign like this guy doesn't know anything.
I mean, you're kind of picking up on that vibe. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely picking up on that vibe right now.
So you got all this power and you're oblivious to everything around you. That's amazing.
What is all the power that I have? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
If we fought, you would end me very easily, I imagine.
Well, why would I fight you? That would make no sense.
Well, I could pull a gun on you right now.
You could.
Thorn, we're in the middle of a party.
And what's going to happen?
Come on, Foreign.
I don't know what is going to happen.
I'm going to shoot at the cat.
No.
The cat just winks out of existence. Oh, Frumpkin, do not tease him. He's just being cranky. Scanlan used to get like that.
We're due back in Ank'Harel. And now we're dragged back here for this party that we're first told is to hand over the reins of the fate of the universe. And now...
Wait.
It sounds like it's just-
Wait. Someone told you specifically they were going to hand you the reins.
No, they told these guys. I was outside.
Does not sound like something we would do.
Well, what about wielding this thing? And I'll pull out the spear.
What is that? May I hold that?
You can certainly try.
He grabs it. There's a gentle twitch of his hands and his arms. His eyes go solid black. There's like
He's not a changeling, right?
He's not a changeling.
There's a vapor that kind of spins around him, and then he kind of takes in a deep breath. That is one of the original keys to the Kyle Moreau. That is a relic of ancient power. How did you find your way to this? Beauregard, come here quickly. You watch as Beauregard kind of saunters over. Yeah, what's up, Caleb? They have a relic that I think you and your Cobalt Soul friends might be interested in.
We can't have it.
Too bad, it's mine.
Oh, you may have it back. He hands it back.
We got the other key too, if you need that.
No, I trust that you have it for a reason. Not for me to have, but for you to have.
That I point to Professor. I'm like, that guy danced around and they showed up.
That sounds familiar to me. I can believe that. I could tell you stories.
I want to hear stories.
Well, one time, me and Frumpkin were walking down the street, and he just goes into this 40-minute ramble about meeting Not the Brave.
Oh no, Melody wanders away after 3 minutes.
I'll stay and listen while everybody else wanders away.
I can totally see Melody doing that too, just wandering off into the crowd. You kind of bump into another fawn, and you hear this. Oh, excuse me. Hi, I'm Fern.
Oh my God, you are gorgeous. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Melody.
I saw you over there with Caleb. Is he doing one of his stories again?
Oh my God, I don't even know I walked away.
Hours that boy talks. Here, have some drinks. And she just kind of does the whole girlfriend party wing girlfriend thing, and the two of you are kind of disappearing into the revelry of the groups, just all kind of chatting, and you're kind of being introduced to the more lighthearted side of the groups. It's almost like it's cliquey. It's a little bit cliquey. All the doom and gloom people are hanging out telling stories, and all the lighthearted people are off to the side, kind of enjoying each other's company.
Oh, what a breath of relief.
Oh, I know. I'm not particularly a big fan of these reunions. But we agreed after, the Feywild was destroyed that we need to keep tabs on each other, make sure everything's okay. I know Jester's a little bit worried about this whole thing that happened with Jaman Sword and the Bright Queen, but I mean, you guys have it under control, right?
I I don't really know. We have, I think we maybe took out the fire keepers. We maybe took out one of the sort of leaders, but these changelings are just absolutely everywhere. And it's very hard to figure out who is a changeling and who isn't because they use like true polymorph or something to disguise themselves. So we're working on it, but it just keeps
True polymorph. That's a commitment.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're doing this? What's their end game?
Well, I mean, I think the goal is something to do with restoring the Feywild, but like they want to do it in a way that's totally not going to work. And so they're like trying to capture Archfey, and they're trying to take control of all these sort of like local regions. That might be it. It might also just be like complete chaos. It's kind of unclear.
Did you say they're trying to capture the Archfey?
Yes.
You know, the Archfey do have the ability to restore the courts.
Do you
Summer
know
court,
any
the summer
Archfey?
court, the winter court, the
Mhm.
spring court, and the fall court,
Mhm.
the autumn court. I mean, they've always. I personally miss the Feywild. I have people there that, well, they died, of course, when those things happened. But somewhere down deep inside, I believe that they're all still there.
You think
I have
so?
a hard time believing that it all just went away. I think it's still there somewhere.
That's
I think
what
I think the doorways have been shut and the access has been shut. I think the energy that makes up the Feywild and the Shadowfell is kind of disrupted right now. And people just find it easier to assume that it's gone and destroyed. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's still there. I mean, me and Imogen, and we talk about it sometimes, about trying to figure out a way to determine if maybe the Feywild is still there. I mean, the amount of power that this, I think his name was Mason, used to bring that fortress, that flying fortress, into the material plane, and then harnessing the energy or the magic of the Shadowfell and the Feywild to make his own plane of existence. I mean, we've heard of the people that fought there, and the Bright Queen's people fought there. And since you're kind of with Fern, kind of like by yourself, she goes, and you know that your friend Forn was in that war. He was on one of the airships that fought Mason. He used to, I don't know if he still does, but he's in service of the Bright Queen. You know that much at least, right?
Yeah, I know that. I know he was there. I think his memories are kind of jumbled.
Strange. He lost a
What
lot
do
of
you know
people in
about
that
it?
war. Oh, me and the Bright Queen talk all the time. We're odd friends, I guess you could say. Except for there was a brief time there I couldn't get a hold of her. That's what kind of inspired me to reach out to Scanlan to see if we could figure out what was going on.
And you know now, right?
We know some of it now. We don't understand all of it, but we know some of it. But this crimp, I mean, is it possible he's lying?
Lying about what?
Well, Jamon Sword says that you guys think he's a god.
Yeah, he certainly acts like one.
Well, if he truly was one, I would imagine Imogen would not be able to contain Predathos, and Predathos would hunt down this god. See, in their mortal forms, they're allowed to exist on the material plane. That was the agreement. But if their god form wanders the material plane, well, they're in violation of the agreement, and Predathos is allowed to do what he does best.
But would Predathos know where he was?
If he was a god, he'd know what realm or what, where he calls, like gods. gods have to be anchored to something that they derive their power from. If he's just a god in mortal form, he's not a real god. He's in mortal form.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, their memories were taken from them when they agreed to take on mortal form. So there's a really good chance, or there's supposed to be a good chance, that this crimp wouldn't know he's a god.
So you think this is an imposter? Someone lying?
Or somebody up. Scanlan likes to say sometimes things are just hiding in plain sight. Maybe he's somebody else entirely different. Maybe he's created this persona of what he wants people to think what he is, and maybe he's just someone totally different. I've tried to do sending to reach out to him after Jaman Saor told us what happened. I haven't had no luck doing it. Either that or he didn't want to respond. I felt the spell connect.
Have you ever heard of someone called Strahd?
I've heard that name before.
It's another name that just keeps popping up on our radar, but we haven't seen him.
I think Strahd is who. She looks around. You know about Eritrea, right? Pike and Scanlan told you guys everything about him?
We know about his parents, and we know that Pike and Scanlan had him briefly and then dropped him off.
Well, I think, from what I've been told, Eritrea's mother fought Strahd, trapped him inside of his kingdom fortress, severed his connection with the material plane, and basically trapped him and sealed him off on the edges of the Shadowfell.
But then the Shadowfell was shredded.
Well, its containment is either gone, absent, or whatever. People's connection with the Shadowfell is or isn't what's supposed to be. I mean, I'm from the Feywild, and the Feywild's kind of a fucked up place. I mean, sure, the plant looks pretty, but it might try to eat you, right? The little fairies that fly around, you think they're kind of cool until they're, digging at your ear canal with a spear because they want to see what's inside your head. My own family members, fucking creepy as hell. The Feywild has its own unique existence. You know this. I think it still has. I think it's still there. I think you're all connected somehow to this. I don't know why, but Scanlan and Pike have always felt that his mom and Alexion are somehow tied to some kind of divine connection.
Connection to who?
I don't know. That's the part that's weird. If this crimp individual is claiming that he's a god, well, that seems dubious at best. But yes, we've all heard about your recent adventures in the Netherdeep. And while we don't know the details of what happened there, we know that you freed all the populace of Ankarel, and that Jaman Saor, well, they are very grateful to all of you. They know the value of friendship with people that wield such power. They also know that you'll sacrifice more whether you want to or not, as a familiar tune that we're all familiar with. Sometimes we just stumble onto these things by accident, and we just feel like, oh, well, if we don't take care of it, no one's going to take care of it.
That is kind of how it feels. I feel like I don't want to be the person to fix this, but I'm also really tired of being kidnapped and my shop being broken into. And it feels like we just got to get this done so we can get back to something more fun.
Well, just don't miss out on the fun things in between doing those things.
I'm trying.
There's a lot that goes on in life, even when the edges of it are tormented by these things. I missed out on a lot because I wasn't paying attention. And when I think about it in the past, I should have paid a lot more attention. But I think you guys got this. We'll help you as best as we can, but I think you guys got this.
You want to do a shot?
Fuck yeah. Turns over some shot glasses and shots are beginning to rain out.
Shots.
Airtrail,
scanning the
you
room.
can't help but notice that Pike is off to the side. Her and Scanlon are kind of having a pretty big argument over amongst the crowd of people. You get the feeling that other people are kind of used to that. You watch as Scanlon just kind of just gives Pike a big smile and just kind of staggers off drunkenly into another group of people. She looks like she's just fuming. Grog's already passed out over by the keg.
I'm gonna go approach Pike.
Oh, hi, Airtrail. Hi. Sorry, I was lost in thought there for a minute. What can I do for you?
I've heard you two don't always see eye to eye.
Scanlon is a lot. I had to drink a lot to deal with that kind of a lot. But yes, Scanlon's a lot.
I feel like we're getting mixed messages here of what's actually going to be happening and what's expected out of me moving forward. And I would appreciate if there is something more I should know, you were transparent with me about it.
Give me a persuasion check, if you would, please.
Oh, pretty good. 18.
Don't forget your guidance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so 22.
She looks around the crowded common hall and then kind of looks up at you. How's your journey been so far, Eritrea? What have you discovered about yourself?
I mean, I've discovered what I believed for a couple of years was essentially a lie. But it didn't change the type of person I am.
What lie do you think happened?
Well, that I was told I was birthed of some sort of Sarenrae, and that Sarenrae was my mother. And
well, the truth is always a mixture of simile and metaphor sometimes, Eritrea. I felt that your mother, who was a follower of Sarenrae, would have felt that your belief in Sarenrae would keep you kind of connected to her. I don't think we ever meant it to be so literal, but you were kind of born of both a half miracle and the idea of a burden that she was willing to take on. I mean, after all, your father was Alexion, a true half-demigod. I don't know what your conversation was with him, but that is your conversation to have. You guys must have done something, right? The Netherdeep closed. You freed all the people.
yes, I've had a lot of help from my friends, and these people I've journeyed with, I really truly love. And I want to protect them more than anything.
That sounds like someone who believes in Sarenrae would want to do that.
It just more and more doesn't feel like anything with me has been an accident. And that I've been thrust into certain situations. I was set up on some sort of path. because of some sort of connection my parents may have had. And it seems like people are trying to seek me out and see importance in me, but they're not telling me exactly why.
You are a son of a demigod and the son of a powerful paladin of Sarenrae. Those two things make you who you are until the world shapes that. The world is shaping you, Eritrea. Whether it's shaping you for some future fate, I don't know. Me and Scanlan had always felt that if we kept you safe at the orphanage and you could be raised within the walls of the temple, you could be shown a future that was safe for you to make your discoveries and to make your journey. There's always going to be threats out there, Eritrea. There's always going to be some warlord seeking power. There's always going to be something that's going to put you on the edge of thinking the world's going to collapse any moment. Sometimes it's going to be true. Sometimes it's not going to be true. But it's your fate to decide what you want to do.
And I will say, I feel like leaving me within the walls of the temple did protect me. And it did give me a positive lens how to look at this life. Maybe a little naive, and I've realized that. But it's at the very least given me optimism and hope. And hopefully I've had a positive impact on those around me.
I would definitely say you had. She looks over, you can see Melody and Fern doing shots and cackling and laughing. You look over to see Fendon mingling with the crowd, Professor Jabatros mingling with the crowd, Cora staring down at a disappointed, passed out Grog lying on the floor. I mean, I don't think Scanlan meant to bring you here for any nefarious purpose.
I don't think
I think he just wanted to show you that after all the struggles, there is just life afterwards. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep moving forward. And I admit, there was a time we thought about leaving, but those were hard decisions to think about after what happened with Ludnith Deleth. It's sometimes you sacrifice so much that your memory of a normal life gets further and further behind you, so that when you're actually capable of having a normal life, your memory of what you used to do to get there starts to get further and further behind you. 10 years is a long time for all of us. Well, only if you're Percy or Imogen. I don't think Laudna cares at all. I think she's just going to be undead for the rest of her life. I don't even know how that works.
Speaking to the choir. Now, what's your plan?
Well, Scanlan wants to go back to being a senator, and he wants me to go with him, and I'm not going to do that. Me and Grog are probably going to go back to Amon, be with Yasha and Bo, and see what we can do to help them, see what we can do to help Amon out with whatever problems are going on. I feel like Jaman Sa'ord's in good hands. I think you and your friends are doing just fine.
Thank you. I think we are too. And I feel like I need to be more positive to them, because I feel like everyone's teetering a little bit because we keep getting pulled left and right, up and down. And it's getting very hard for everybody.
Hi.
I think that can happen often. I think there is always this feeling that as you move through the world and you see suspicious things and you notice oddities and you want to believe that there's a nefarious shadow lurking around every corner, or if you want to believe there's not a nefarious shadow lurking around every corner. It's just life, Eritrea. We always were proud to hear when you decided to leave the temple and go and see what you could discover. We were proud that you picked Marquet. I was never sure why that letter needed to be sent, but I felt it was important for you to at least learn as much truth about your past at the time. I didn't want you to be influenced by your past as soon as you left the temple. I felt it was something you needed to learn after the world had already begun to shape you.
I feel like it was very appropriate to send that to me when I received it. Even though it was jarring. And then I was going through a lot then with this Azamar god. And
I'm sorry, Azamar God, what?
why am I blanking on their name?
Are you talking about Davini?
Davini, yeah. Yes. And that changed my perceptions of things.
I'm sorry, Eritrea, but Azamars don't have a god. They believe in the celestial plane of existence. They're tethered to the magic of their realm, but they aren't known for having a deity or something that they worship from a traditional sense. Azamars are kind of known for their kind of breadth of neutrality and how they interpret the greater world. While they're celestial beings that have always been said to be both harbingers and caretakers of possible deities, they've always served those that had chosen to serve the population of the material plane and keep them safe.
I don't think that's what Davini was trying to do.
How can you tell me everything about this Davini?
Yeah. You know, are you familiar with the legend or whom Davini is?
I'm trying to tell you that Davini doesn't exist.
And what are the statues I've seen and the visions I've had? And they
Statue.
embodied me. There was a statue in the temple in Jrusar, and I've had visions, and I took upon a sword and was completely engulfed by their presence.
She looks at you with genuine concern. Can I get your permission, Eritrea? Can I do detect thoughts? If I
Absolutely.
delve deep enough, I can see your memories.
Absolutely.
There's a moment where I would say if anyone has a passive perception of 15 or higher, you would see Eritrea and Pike having this kind of weird silent moment where he is leaned down towards her and he is just kind of gently touching his forehead. You would see a white yellowish glow of energy kind of like move between the two of them. After she's done doing that, you open your eyes to see she's crying. She's got tears rolling down her cheek.
On seeing the glow, Forn immediately heads in that direction.
Okay.
So would I.
Okay. Melody, give me a con save. Just see how hammered you're getting.
She's hammered.
Oh, it's pretty bad. It's 10.
It's a 10. You're beyond buzzed. You're
Right.
drunk. You're not hammered yet, but you and Fern are definitely drunk. With Forn and Cora taking an interest in Eritreo and Pike's conversation, I don't know if Fendon's technology is back up to snuff. Fendon or Professor, anything you two are doing while all this is going on? Fendon, you're muted in case you can't see. Of course, sometimes his stuff just drops, so I don't know if he can even hear us right now.
So,
We were going to
Professor-
say, are you in the room with us?
I'm
right
here.
now?
Eric.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah. So I hadn't said anything. I was waiting for Fendon just to see.
Yeah, I don't know if Fendon's actually there because I think he's been having tech issues.
Oh yeah, my phone is having trouble
Yeah.
keeping up with. But he would go over and watch. Is what he said.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he put it
just
in the studio
Typed
chat.
in the chat.
Oh, in the studio chat. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. So, the professor is just kind of, I guess, going around, not so much schmoozing, but just kind of like, this is awkward. I'm not exactly part of this realm. I'm not entirely certain what you all have in mind for me. I did sign up quite literally to assist, but this is a little awkward talking about to some deities or people who may be deities here. What kind of single is there one that I can kind of single out to be like, hey, I have questions.
Who would you like to try to talk to?
I don't know a whole lot of the people here, unfortunately, because of all the sessions I missed.
Just all the previous parties.
It's like all
the Mighty Nine, Bell's Hells, and Vox Machina are all here.
I'm gonna be real with you. I do not watch. I have. Yeah, that tells me nothing.
The Caleb, the wizard from our last campaign that we ran into a couple of times. Caleb, Ford, and Jester. We ran into them a few times before.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess I'll just go up to Caleb and just kind of be like, oh, hey,
Yes. What can I do for you?
Well, this is awkward. Again, I'm not opposed, but of the people here, I do, my friends here, I am one of the only ones that actually made any kind of promise to help in any way. And to be frank, my experience with divine beings is not great. Why would we take this mantle on from you or from them? I'm curious about your opinion on this.
I don't think there's any mantle to give. I believe Scanlon is a bit of a jokester. He likes to, how shall we say, stir the pot. We do not feel that you and your friends are required to do anything other than what you want to do. And when you say you've had a rather strange opinion of gods, what formed that opinion? Where did that come from?
Well, I entered the service of Ribnus to meet a goal. I'm not a lifelong adherent. He needed a paladin to accomplish some of his goals in the world, and I needed to find a way back home. We're partners out of necessity, not out of devotion. So I will say he has gifted me things, but he is not a helpful or engaging deity, and I don't have experience with others from my realm. I and those around me live a very physical existence, divorced from most of most concern with the gods. This is not exactly changing my opinion on that.
from my understanding, all of the gods either fled Exandria or they took mortal form to hide from Protothos, did they not? Is your god not hidden somewhere on the material plane? Is this why he does not answer?
One of the things that he told me after I entered his service was that I had been recruited, shall we say, to help find a missing piece of his soul. He has not been particularly forthcoming with information on that. He did just grant me a boon. I managed to find this at just. Do I have the sword from a couple of sessions ago?
Yeah, I would say you still have it.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of hold up. I was given this, and it says in writing of my people that this is. And God, what was the name of the thing? The God's Hand. The God's Hand. I know nothing about this. I've tried to read up on it. I've tried to identify it. It tells me nothing. As far as I know, this is just a sharpened bit of steel, but it was in the temple dedicated to Rimnus, and it's clearly important to his adherents.
May I see that for a moment?
Of course, of course.
He takes it from you. You recognize you recognize that he seems to be casting legend lore on it, and he seems to be absorbing the information and history of the blade itself. He then kind of comes out of the meditative state and hands it back to you. My dear boy, while I am personally not connected to such things, that is what we call a vestige. That is an item of a god, touched by a god, that has been handed from champion to champion to champion. For whatever reason, Remnus has decided you are potential champion material. Unfortunately, these things are revelations, not poignant instructions. That's the one thing that I do not understand about divinity and how people are so careless with their affection for the divine.
You see, like the professor just kind of pinches like the bridge of his beak, and just like, of all the things, he gave me a sword. He knows. He's seen me fight for weeks. He knows that I use blunt things. I'm an archaeologist. What do I know about sword fighting other than the pointy end goes in the other person?
I think, Professor, that the vestige is a metaphor of something else. I think it's meant to reveal something to you at your time when it's meant to be revealed, but I do not think you're quite there yet. Vestiges are very strange. While they present some magic and some sense of what they are at the beginning, they never truly reveal themselves until your most desperate hour of need.
And just like continues just rubbing like vigorously at like the bridge of his beak. Just like, oh.
You should go see Pike. She can take care of that for you. You clearly have a headache.
I don't think this is a thing that Pike will be able to take care of. This is...
Yes, the stress of the world, the stress of truth versus what we think we know and what we don't know. As soon as this sword reveals itself to you, I imagine it will be of great relief, because you are allowed to reject such offerings if you choose to.
Well, I appreciate your information on that. And I'm just going to kind of try to find like a quiet room in the back, kind of away from people, just kind of so I can kind of try to talk to Rimnus a little bit and just figure out what the hell he's doing.
At that moment, as Thorn, Cora, Fendon begin to get a little bit closer to Eritrea, Melody, go ahead and give me another con save with disadvantage this time.
Another one. All right. Well, with disadvantage, it's a 15.
Still not bad. I mean, you're solidly drunk, but not, hammered drunk. So you're in your prime. You're in like your party mode that you like to get into, and you and Fern are doing like the full karaoke thing. You're like up on the makeshift stage with all of Scalen's band kind of playing in the background. Yeah, well, no.
Two-person conga line.
Yeah, maybe a two-person conga line for sure. But they're belting out zingers and singing like crazy. Corafern and Fendon, you can see where Pike and Eritrea are having this deep conversation. There's almost like a tearful look on Pike's face. And she quickly leans in, says something to Eritrea, and then quickly walks off into the crowd. So for you, Eritrea, Pike would have leaned in and said that she needs to go talk to Yasha about something and that she'd come and find you later. But for now, the four of you, which seem to be the only four that have survived the internet gremlins.
I just closed the wrong tab. That was all. That was not a connection issue. 100% my fault.
I've done that.
Yep. Oh well. No,
But yeah, Cora and Forn and Fendon are now kind of near you, Eritrea. Whether or not they approach you, I leave it up to them.
Oh, Thorn does.
Okay.
What in the hell was that?
I mean, she was just kind of asking me how life has been, and I told her how much I love you guys. And
No, the flashing light thing.
Yes. So I was telling her about Davini, and she told me Davini doesn't exist. And I started to tell her, like, what about the statues I've seen, the visions I've had, the sword? And then she asked if she could do detect thoughts on me, and I was like, yeah, sure. And that's what that was. She seemed
What
kind
were
of.
you thinking?
What was I thinking?
You detect your thoughts, yeah. I mean,
I was just thinking about my experiences with Davini, and
oh,
you
okay.
know,
So you
I was-
weren't picturing her naked or anything.
I mean that happened, but you can't control all of your thoughts.
Now,
It's kind of like my mom, so it was weird. But
look, y'all Celestials have a
She-
very strange idea of personal space, and that's fine. But how the hell is Davina not real? Who then? If Davina ain't real, then who was sucking my soul out?
yeah, I'm wondering the same
Well-
thing. And she just said she had to go talk to Yasha, and then she'd be right back. I don't know who Yasha is, but I'm assuming
Oh,
Yasha.
scary lady over there.
Which one of y'all is Yasha?
I just pointed.
Horn says it
Yeah,
like
as
in
you
that
point,
kind of like
as you point
accusation.
and you
With his
yell.
gun in his hand, pointing to the crowd.
Yeah, you can see Pike is overstanding on a chair talking to this female Azamar with this really like long black and white hair and kind of very tribal looking in appearance. They seem to be in conversation, and then overhear Forn kind of yell that out. Pike quickly points back to where all of you are kind of like standing around Eritrea, and immediately, starts making her way through the crowd to get to where everybody else is. Yasha is a pretty imposing figure. This may be the first Azamar other than yourself, Eritrea, that you've recognized and seen.
Ooh. And she's a girl.
like
Ooh.
Horn's gonna lean over at Eritrea and be like, why if y'all are the same, why is she so big? You're kind of small.
I'm not.
We're not exactly all the same just because we're Azamar. That's like saying all you Arendelle elves look like little skinny girls. It's not quite true, is it?
I got a beard.
Yeah, well, none of us are that. None of us are that perfect when it comes to dating bugbears. I can smell it on you.
Look, I've been around that for a while, so sticks and stones and all that shit.
Yeah,
Pike
this-
shows up, kind of nudges Yasha. Tell him. I'm
Who the fuck
getting
are you?
there. I'm getting there. She looks down at Pike and then looks back over at Eritrea. Listen, Azamar are, and then you watch as her wings come out, but they're like polar opposite of Eritrea's wings, where Eritrea's kind of have a more traditional celestial feel to them. Hers are necrotic and kind of like spindly and bony and kind of almost bat-like with thin, tattered membranes as part of hers. Azamar's experience things differently based on certain things that might happen to you. I, for one, I was a fallen and found myself back to redemption through helping my friends. And I feel as if my wife, Beauregard, has kind of altered and changed me as well. But I can assure you, Eritrea, after what Pike told me, whoever's been visiting you, whoever's been talking to you, there's no God Divini. There's no celestial deity that's going to come and save the Azamar from themselves. We live our own lives. We exist solely like everybody else does. I'm sorry this happened to you. I don't know what it means. Pike seemed a little frustrated that I don't know what it means. The only thing I'm going to offer up is whoever did it would be incredibly powerful and is attempting to convince you that whoever they are a god of a different name.
Didn't you see a statue of him back on Jrusar?
Yes.
Trail.
Yes,
And
there's a statue around the temple.
Am I there or am I still partying?
You're still partying, but what's your passive perception?
I mean, Florin called out really loudly in that kind of accusational voice.
Yeah, I would imagine you would have picked up on that because you're drunk, but you're not hammered. So you would see a gathering now of everyone around Eritrea. The only person missing would be Professor, but everybody else is kind of gathered around, and there's this big, tall Azamar barbarian standing there with little Pike, and there seems to be this collective conversation that's really getting off the ground.
Be like to Fern, I'll be like, sorry, my friend's threatening the crowd again. Gotta go.
Okay. See, I'll be right here. She goes right back to doing shots and belting out another song to the crowd.
Treyo, haven't you read about Divini? There are books about Divini. It is a real person, the first to fallen.
I am not crazy. I mean, you don't know anything about this first to fallen, Yasha?
We've been to temples to Divini.
I mean, Yasha and Pike exchanged looks, and then Yasha just, I've never heard of this before. I've never known of a god. She looks down at Pike. Pike, I mean,
How old were the ruins of those temples?
Very, very, very old.
And we've seen visions of Divini and
My soul
Githyanki
got
many
stuck.
years ago. Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
It's not just Treyo's visions. We've seen a lot of evidence of Divini's existence.
was there ever a clear face, like a face you could see?
Well, we've seen her
It
face.
was that mask thing.
Yeah, a
That
mask.
black and white with the line down the middle and the weird eyes. And
Black and white. What was the place like where you first encountered this Divini? Where did this happen?
It was at the Wild Mother Temple, I believe.
in
It was
Jrusar.
at the Dawnfather Temple.
Dawnfather Temple in Jrusar. And it was
an
a statue
overgrown
kind
statue.
of away in the gardens of the temple.
They both exchanged curious looks. When was this the next time you had the experience?
When we found that temple
No,
2 oh,
after that, I was getting it was the dream where I got my soul sucked.
Yeah,
And not,
and it
and
wasn't
not
just
in a fun way.
it wasn't just a dream because I saw it happen, didn't I?
I think you woke up to the end of it, or you
Yeah,
kind of
I-
like,
Like he vamped out. Yeah.
yeah, like they were gone as soon as you woke up.
Mm-hmm. And that was sort of a hidden pocket dimension.
Then we had the temple where Eritrea tried to kill us the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I got a soul.
And then the underground temple where Eritrea tried to kill us the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Melody got all upset about it.
Oh, the weird thing was I read that stuff on the wall, and that's what made you go weird and walk off the. Try and go free that demigod that we killed, by the way.
As you begin to describe the temple that you're in the Oderlin Wilds, and then you kind of describe that interlude where you kind of reacted to a nearby demigod, do you also tell them about how you retrieved the spear and the hammer?
We surely would tell them about the other temples, but they weren't the same temple. They looked similar with the 9 pillars, but they were all because that was the third temple at least that we saw with the 9 pillars in a circle.
The 9 pillars of foundation. The 9 pillars of the 9 realms. You don't suppose, Yasha? I'm not going to make that suggestion without more proof. I mean, we know he didn't take the deal, but if it's him, that's a big leap.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who?
When Imogen agreed to be the vessel of Predathos, it was under the auspices that the gods would flee and leave. All the betrayer gods fled, except one. He refused to abandon his realm. Some would say that he's the pillar of 9. He's the foundational. He's the original betrayer god. It's quite possible that maybe this falsehood, whoever this person is,
Davini.
it could be Asmodeus. He's the only one left. Although there have been rumors of the Raven Queen possibly not becoming mortal. He's the only one that didn't give up the 9 realms. All the other betrayer gods fled, as far as we know.
He happened to be into hanging bodies from the ceiling on hooks and letting blood and shit drip down and turn into demons and stuff.
Or trees.
That's a little too forward for Asmodeus. Asmodeus is a creature of beauty, cunning, and some would say master of manipulation.
Davini wasn't very beautiful.
But hidden behind a mask means that you really never saw their true face. All the temples resided around 9 pillars, 9 statues, 9 columns, 9 something. Those would be the way he would focus himself.
Well, why would they put the keys to Kyle Moreau in a temple to Asmodeus?
Don't know.
Treya, you don't hear from Davini anymore, do you?
Not at all.
I mean, he would tell you that because you tried to kill him the last time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Melody would be doing an insight check in response to that.
She does whiskey breath insight check.
Yeah, insight at disadvantage.
Coconut rum shot insight check.
Lying to me, are you?
It's just me slurring. Are you telling the truth?
It's the like sloppy bathroom thing of like I don't think it was. Are you?
Yeah.
Is that? Are you being real with me right now? Are you being real with me right now?
Oh my
look,
God, I'm
Are
having
you-
a high school flashback. Stop.
I just need you to tell me the truth. I just need you to tell me the truth.
Pike looks over at Eritrea. If your Alexion's blood does course through your body, some would say that you'd make a good candidate for being an avatar. It's possible that might have been what Asmodeus was trying to do, deceive you into believing that you are helping your own kind, only to allow him into your body and then use you as an avatar, an expression of Asmodeus' form and power. He's definitely taken an interest in you. It's got to explain the 9 pillars, the 9 statues, the 9... Why he would allow the spear and the rod to be retrieved. The one from Saloon and one from Grumash. To be clear, Grumash is gone. He has fled Exandria. His divinity broken. Saloon wanders the mortal material plane somewhere. We don't really know where she is. We've looked. But if they reveal themselves, they put themselves at risk.
Hey, Air Trail.
Mhm.
You want to scry on that elephant friend of ours? Not really friend no more, I think.
Yeah,
After the last
Kalim.
Because they were a part of all this as well.
Scry.
What level is Scrap?
Is a 5th level. Oh, just passed it. 16. Yeah,
It's a
so
fun way
that's-
to make the party more exciting, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, that definitely would do it. Yeah.
You rolled Soul Siphon, and now like half the party guests are dead.
God, what was the Luxodon's name again?
Kalim.
Kalim, that's right.
And they were building the temple to the Wild Mother.
Yep.
But the last time we saw them, our robot, forgot his name, our doorman bot.
Was it
was-
Bolt? Binder.
there-
Yep,
no,
it was Binder.
Yeah. Binder was there with Kalim, but was not functional.
Yeah.
And Kalim looked suspicious, if I remember. It would be very difficult to find the last mention of Kalim in my notes.
It's been a little while.
Eritrea, everything around you begins to fade. The sound of the party, sound of voices. Although it's always weird slipping into the scry effect. It's always this strange kind of awareness that things are around you, but your mind's eye focuses in on the subject at hand. There you see an image in your mind. It's Kalim. You begin to imagine what they wear, what they look like, your familiarity with them. And you begin to ponder where they might be. Your mind's eye focuses back in the direction of the Odorlin Wilds, back in the direction of the tall spires, back in the direction of Jrusar. This pulls you in to the spires, deep into the spires, into the familiar location of the now, well, you guys have been gone for a while, the now near complete temple of the Wild Mother, the facade baked over the old framework of the Temple of the Dawnfather. This nature magic, this nature divinity, this idea of nature being healing and helpful draws your attention deeper into this newfound temple. Past the acolytes wandering around, past the patrons that are coming and going, some coming for healing, your mind's eye drifts beyond. Suspiciously, your mind's eye drifts beyond the kind of the structure of the temple, and it descends deep into the strata of the spire that it's built on. Deep into the strata, deep down you go, your mind's eye focusing. You see the silhouette of the Luxodon. And then you find yourself in a chamber. By the way, I rolled a natural 2 for the wisdom saving throw for Kaleem. They sit in a round chamber. In this round chamber, there is an altar in front of them. On the ground around them is a series of markings, a series of etchings. You're not really sure what they are. They don't look like natural markings. They look to be like some kind of arcane or other type of divinity markings. Give me either religion or arcana as you're kind of taking in everything that you're seeing within this chamber.
18.
18. They look to be sigils of demonic origin. They look to be sigils of somebody who did these sigils in either infernal or possibly other demonic languages. They are lost in meditation. They are sitting down, and where they're sitting, that's where you realize they're sitting in a great kind of circle with a 5-pointed star, very kind of like specifically. You've seen things similar to this. This reminds you of either a summoning circle, a commune circle, one or the other. You're not really sure. Your invisible mind's eye drifting around the round chamber. The altar suddenly flares to life. And you watch as this crown, wreathed in flame, appears on the altar. Each of the 9 points of the crown kind of coalesce with that flame that wreathes. And then you hear a soft kind of voice that belies the power in it. This power almost forces you to break the scry connection, but you hold fast and you hold firm. Yes, Kaleem, why have you summoned me? Make it brief. There are always threats to my existence. Kaleem's voice is deeper, changed, not quite the same.
Yes.
I understand that this is always risky to contact you, my lord. But it took me a while to get out of that accursed temple. The trap that they placed on it made it difficult for me. But, as you can see, I've taken this form for obvious purpose. My power is still trapped there. But I'm able to utilize this Luxodon as an avatar of me, and therefore try to carry on your good works. Yes, I understand. Your failure is known to me. You had it all right there at the tip of your finger in your grasp to make it all happen so that I could begin my journey. And yet you failed. You allowed those inconsequential creatures to stop you. Why should I put my trust in you? My lord, Things are different now. I am to understand the leader of the Changeling Order, the one that sponsored the Firekeepers, has been killed, destroyed. Their order broken, cast to the wind. However, I have also heard the word of another possible ally in our fight. Until Imogen is destroyed and Predathos destroyed along with her, I'm very limited in what I could do. Tell me, what is it that you think we should ally ourselves with? You are right, my lord. The Feywild and the Shadowfell have not been destroyed. The magic of their planes have been hidden from us. With this Predathos on the loose, many of our kind are seeking haven and refuge. There is a hag and her 2 sisters. They currently live in the source of the Witchlight. Their power is trying to find its way back through to the material plane. However, whoever makes that connection, I believe, will gain more than what they reckon. There is a hag that even I have begun to understand, goes by the name Scabatha. She seeks a runaway, someone has escaped her coven's tree. I suspect it may be one of the people that was involved in my capture earlier. I admit taking on the form of the priest was a gamble, but I thought it was a safe gamble to make. Clearly, I was wrong. I believe if we ally ourselves with this coven, give them the keys to Jrusar, they could free me from this temple prison, and therefore I would be available to bring you in to my form, and you, my lord, can freely walk the material plane with no help or no subsequent threat of Predathos. Then we track down Imogen, and with our new allies in the Iron Collective, we destroy Predathos. Get back what is ours. You speak with such plain conviction, as if it's already written and easy to accomplish. There are many allies that will seek to derail this plan. And why should I trust you again? You've already failed once before. What's to say you won't fail again? I understand, my lord, but there is someone amongst them that we can rely upon. Is there not? Are they not duty-bound and sworn to help you, if you ask? Yes, but that is a very difficult notion that you bring up. That could potentially expose me to great harm. This is not something that I feel I'm quite willing to do yet. My power keeps me hidden, but by being hidden, I am safe. If Predathos were to ever find me, I don't believe I have the power of the 9 realms to be able to resist whatever he brings to bear on me. I understand, my lord, but we must begin somewhere. And reaching out to a loyal servant that's followed you for so long, I would imagine he would reciprocate whatever offering you might tempt him with. Yes, temptation is an easy thing when it comes to these creatures. Perhaps you're right. I may have lost my access to the other avatar, I think I played my hand too aggressively. He became suspicious. In this case, I must be a little bit slower. Come into this with a more affirmational tone, less deceit, more understanding. Very well, priest, or whatever you allow yourself to be called now. I know I cannot use your name, or it will trap your soul, so I will not bear you that burden. But if you fail me again, I will cast you out into so many pieces that you'll beg for Predathos to destroy you. Do you understand? Yes, my lord. I understand. The scry begins to fade. Find yourself back in the common room. Kind of watery eyes with the tears kind of rubbing at the edges.
Well, that's
What do you see?
interesting. Kaleem, not a good person, as we kind of suspected. Apparently the Feywild isn't gone. That's a plus. But Kaleem was connected to some sort of spirit through some demonic ritual. And I believe they were talking about how they attempted to, tempt me, and that failed. Mentioned that the hag and their two sisters are trying to use their power to get to find power back to the material plane. And I kind of give the whole story to everybody.
So who's this other loyal servant that they're talking about?
Vaughn? Not
Yeah.
suspicious
Vaughn?
of you. I'm not suspicious of you. I trust you, but you've had dealings with hags. Does any of this sound familiar to you?
Not dealings on purpose, but you said he mentioned Scabatha and these other hags trying to reform the Witchlight. Isn't that what Stonejaw and Riptide's trying to do?
Yeah, but for different purposes. They said don't we think they're enemies of Scabatha?
Possible, yeah.
They are. So there's another coven out here. I'll pull out the medallion of the death tree that Corinna had found. Suppose it might be them.
It sounded like, from what Eritrea was saying, that this person, maybe Asmodeus, thinks that in addition to Eritrea, there is someone else who has been a loyal servant for a long time that Asmodeus might seek to get them to do something for him, or might seek to enter. Do we
But last
think...
time they were very deceptive of them, it said.
Do we think that could be Professor Jelbatros?
I turned and look at the professor immediately.
Just like the professor's just like, no.
You do? Isn't your god like trapped somewhere and trying to get out, and
Not
gave
talking
you
to
like a medallion that turned out to be a demon medallion?
That, as much as I'm not a fan of this, that was probably on me. I believe I picked that up at a market somewhere and thought that he had imbued that as a token. That was apparently not the case, because as soon as I got rid of it, I was able to speak with him. I mean, to the extent he actually speaks with me, you understand.
Mm-hmm. I guess, like, if he does if your god does choose to reach out to you sometime soon, that'd be good to know. Because it might actually be Asmodeus.
I mean, I suppose, but anyone know about all the feathers and the clearly? Wait, do any of you have detect? What is it? I can't think of the name of the spell.
We grabbed more of
Evil?
the feathers when we were in that plane.
Yeah.
Can we pull some of those out?
Also, use your feather to pop that sword out.
Mhm.
The metal
So-
feather gave us the sword.
Yeah,
Pull
but
more
my
of-
feather commune is a different thing, so that's
Feathers falling from the sky.
a game.
That was when he was in that other, when he brought that friggin' wind beast at us.
No, when we ended up the gate spell that went wrong, and we ended up on that different plane, and it was raining feathers. We grabbed some of those feathers and put them in the in our pockets. And so we, have some of those feathers, pull them out, see if they're still in our pockets. Do they exist?
Yeah, you still have them. Whatever you collected, they're still there.
So have pockets. Have pocket feathers. Do they glow? Are they magic? Are they magic?
I mean, do you have detect magic?
Do I have detect magic? I mean, I have it, but is it prepare?
It's a ritual cast.
Oh, I'm going to ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. Take you about 10 minutes to pull that off.
Yep. Do, 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 do.
Nobody's been talking to you lately, Trail. In your head
Oh.
and any of that stuff.
No, he said Davini wasn't.
It sounds like maybe if it was Asmodeus, maybe he felt like he pushed too hard and scared Eritrea off.
That's what I was thinking at first. Either way, we ought to tell Imogen that somebody's trying to kill her. And she probably shouldn't go to Jrusar. We already told her somebody's trying to kill her. Now somebody else is trying to kill her.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I don't like that we trapped that son of a bitch in the Dawnfather Temple, and now he's in somebody else.
Yeah, I
Just
thought that we
out.
killed him. I'm confused
No,
on.
remember we fled. We trapped him in there. He couldn't get out.
Oh,
Sealed
how
the
did he
gate
get
and
out?
everything.
Yeah, how did he get out?
I don't think he's out. I think he's just possessing Kaleem.
How is he doing that without getting out of the temple?
Didn't you say his power was still in the temple? His power is all still trapped inside there. He's projected himself out of there.
Maybe you can do it without actually leaving your space. Because we also saw Kaleem in an entirely different city at some point, doing shady activities.
Kaleem was the one that helped us seal the Dawnfather Temple originally.
Yeah, but then remember,
Yeah,
where was it? Where there's like whatever city it was with the
Kingsfall, with the slave, the where they were
sex
catching all
palace
the
thing.
yeah, Kingsfall.
Yeah, she was there.
Well, Bongo was there too.
That's right. Yeah, he was. Well, much to consider.
And then y'all do something about like, is this thing good or evil?
That's I couldn't remember if there was a spell that was like, detect that. I know there's
There is-
protection from evil and good, but
There is, I think, a spell called Detect Good and Evil. I don't have it, but it sounds familiar. Oh, well, I could, I can detect whether any object or place nearby has been consecrated or desecrated.
I mean, that sounds a little helpful.
All right, I'll do channel divinity, divine sense to see if any objects or places nearby have been consecrated or desecrated, or if there are any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet.
So, Cora, you finished the detect magic spell. Melody, you use your channel divinity. Cora, it's almost like being in Gilmore's Glorious Goods, because everyone here has multiple magic items on them. So, like, anybody close to you, you just see rings and weapons and adornments and robes and armor, all kind of with various enchantments and evocations and all of that. One of the figures, strangely, only has one item of magic on them. As you're walking through the crowd, you see the big Minotaur standing there, Breas, one of the figures that was with the others. Someone who had journeyed with
Bell's House.
the Bell's Hells, been a part of the battle that took place with Ludinus Deleth. He is wearing a simple necklace that is giving off divine enchantment. That seems strange to you considering what everybody else has, and the fact that this is someone who traveled with such a powerful group. Melody, around you is a mixture of neutral and kind of chaotic energy, just the personalities. The one that's you expected was the kind of creepy affirmation of Ladna, because she is considered a reborn or an undead entity. But you don't see any connection beyond that. You just see the kind of vaporous darkness of identifying that she's an undead entity.
Mm-hmm.
You stroll through the crowd. You kind of walk alongside Cora, who's staring intently at the Minotaur, Breas. You begin to stare at him as well. You can see elongated black gas-like fingers that reach from under his feet, and almost like the fingers and hand of like the magic spell, Bixby's hand, is kind of just gently swirling around Breas, caressing him and like giving him a sense of calm and collectiveness. There's a presence there. There's something connected to Breas. Past, darkness. Cora, you peek. You don't want to get too close, but you get close enough to see that Breas is talking to somebody, and his hand inadvertently kind of goes up to where what he's wearing, and he kind of corrects it and goes to put it back inside of his tunic. It is definitely Cora or Melody, give me a religion check.
I've got a +4 to religion. What do you got?
Are we close enough for guidance?
Yeah, I'd be okay with guidance.
Oh, but I got a natty 20.
Ooh.
Total of
and hold on, and a 4 on my guidance. And you said religion?
Yep.
+3, so 27.
Yeah, that's maxed out for you pretty much.
Yeah.
You recognize that he is tucking away an emblem of Asmodeus back into the tunic of his clothing.
I am going to usher Melody back over to the group and share that with the group.
Quorum's going to pull his right.
I mean,
He's evil. He's evil.
I'm not trying to be suspicious. I'm just like, oh, hey, let's go back over and talk to the group.
So you grab Melody. You start heading back over to talk to the group. As you arrive at the group, all of you start to look over your shoulders over to where Breus was. You no longer see him in the crowd, and you're not entirely sure where he went. And that's where we're going to finish tonight.
Oh no.
Now you guys gotta go after Breus. I can't wait for you to fight him.
Yeah.
He's a lot. Level 20 paladin of Asmodeus. It'll be easy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, cake. I just got to stand far away from him.
Well, you guys linger. We'll talk about the schedule. Everyone else, thank you for coming out and watching. Be safe, be kind, and don't forget, everyone, play a game. See you next week.